Bass fishing pros made topwater fishing way harder than it needs to be. When I first got into bass fishing, I thought topwater was supposed to be easy. Every fishing show I watched made it look the same. Guy throws a lure out, bass explodes on it, he catches it, and everybody celebrates. What they didn't show was the hundreds of casts in between. The missed fish, the wrong conditions, the mistakes. And because of that, I spent years struggling with topwater fishing. What's funny is one of the fish that got me completely hooked on bass fishing actually came on a topwater. My brother and I were fishing out on one of those cheap inflatable raft boats in a community pond, people swimming all around. We had thrown everything. Crankbaits, plastic worms, spinner baits, nothing special was happening. Then right before dark, I tied on a frog. I'd never even thrown one before. Second cast, a bass exploded on it. Still to this day, it's one of the biggest bass I've ever seen come out of that pond. We were losing our brains. I thought topwater fishing was gonna be easy after that. Turns out I was wrong. For years after that fish, I still struggled. I'd get blow-ups and miss them. I'd fish topwater at the wrong times and I didn't know why. I'd work the lure wrong. I'd leave the fish too early. Today I want to share with you the 5 biggest mistakes I see anglers make fishing topwater and how to fish them. Because once I learned these lessons, topwater became one of my favorite ways to catch bass. Mistake number 1. Before we talk about lures, hook sets, or retrieves, we need to talk about bass behavior. Because topwater isn't really about the lure. It's about where the fish are. One of the biggest mistakes anglers make is thinking that bass can always be caught on topwater. They can't. To consistently catch bass on topwater, bass have to be feeding shallow. They have to be willing to move upward. And that's where so many anglers go wrong. They launch the boat, tie on a topwater, start casting. Meanwhile, the fish are sitting 20 feet deep off of structure. The lure isn't the problem, the fish location is. I learned this lesson when everybody around me was talking offshore fishing. Forward-facing sonar, brush piles, deep schools, all that stuff. Meanwhile, I was catching fish shallow, not because of some magic lure, because I found fish actively feeding up shallow. Bass feed shallow more often than anglers realize. During the spawn, after the spawn, around bluegill beds, during the low light conditions, around bait fish, wind-blown banks, grass edges, dock lines, secondary points. The lesson, topwater isn't a lure decision, it's a bass behavior decision. Find fish that are feeding shallow first, then worry about your lure. Mistake number 2, even when bass are shallow, timing matters. For me personally, topwater really starts getting good around 67 degrees or warmer. Can you catch them colder? Absolutely. But if you're looking for consistency, that warmer water makes a big difference. Bass are more active, they're more willing to chase, more willing to feed upward. This is why topwater shines in the early mornings, late evenings, cloudy days, wind-protected pockets, summer feeding windows. One of my biggest mistakes was forcing the topwater because I want it to work so badly. It's so fun. Not because conditions told me to choose a topwater. I was trying to make the fish do something they didn't want to do. Instead, let the conditions tell you when topwater has a chance. But even when you find fish shallow, at the right time, most anglers still lose fish because of mistake number 3 I'm about to share with you. And this one is completely emotional. This is the one that every angler makes, including myself. Bass explodes on your lure, water flies everywhere, adrenaline hits your system, and you instantly swing. The problem? A lot of times the fish doesn't actually have your lure yet. Bass often miss, they slap at it, push water, stun prey. I've even seen them hit it with their nose and see the bait fly straight up out of the water. For years I was setting hooks on explosions and not the fish. The biggest change I ever made was learning to wait. Not long, just long enough to actually feel the fish. See the line move, set the hook. My landing percentage immediately improved. Even today, I still have to tell myself, wait, feel the fish, then swing. One phrase helped me more than anything. Don't set the hook on the splash, set the hook on the fish. Mistake number 4. I used to think topwater lures were idiot-proof. Throw them out, reel them back, catch fish. Turns out there's a lot more to it. The key is line control. You need a semi-slack line, not tight, not completely loose, semi-slack. This allows the lure to do what it was designed to do. Poppers, walking baits, even wake baits all require some line control. With a popper, pop, pause, pop, pause. With a walking bait, twitch, 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 and you let it sit, and then you reel up the completely slack line. But when you're popping it on a semi-slack line, it's always moving forward. And then with a wake bait, slow and steady, keep your rod tip up so that wake stays on the surface. Let the bait create its natural weight. Many anglers work these lures way too fast. The fish often tell you exactly how they want it. Listen to them. Mistake number 5, you can catch bass on a lot of different setups, but I'm specifically targeting topwater bass, which is completely different. Here's what I've found works best for me. A 7-foot or longer, medium heavy, extra fast action rod, 30 to 50 pound green braided line. Green is important. It blends into the water way better. But here's something most anglers overlook with line. In clear water, bass can absolutely see that braid. That's why I add 4 to 5 feet of a topwater copolymer leader. It floats and it sits on top, but it's invisible. This one change helps me get way more bites than others in the same boat, just throwing braid all the time, especially on pressured lake. The braid gives you that casting distance and you can connect to the fish really quickly, but the leader gives me that stealth and it doesn't compromise the action. Best of both worlds. Here's a bonus tip. One of the biggest bass fishing myths is that if a fish misses your lure, the opportunity is over. Not true. Some of my best fish have come after a missed strike. Cast back, change the angle, change the cadence, throw a popper, throw a wake bait, throw a Senko even. A missed fish often tells you exactly where a bass is because they're so territorial. Don't leave and you'll catch those missed fish. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Topwater fishing isn't about finding the perfect lure. It's about understanding bass behavior. Find fish feeding shallow, fish the right conditions, wait until you feel the fish. Work your lure properly, use the right setup, and don't leave after a missed strike. Do those things and you'll catch so many more bass on topwater. I know because I went from struggling with topwater for years to actively looking forward to it when the season hits. And it all started with one giant bass in an inflatable raft that convinced me topwater fishing was the greatest part of bass fishing. Oh, got him! Topwater. Oh, a big largemouth. This is like a 5-pounder, dude. Oh my heck. Whoa, look at this guy. What a pig. He's probably, I bet he's close to 4. Just right here. Kaboom. Wow, what a tank. Big one. Big one. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, go down to the description below. I've got a higher level training to help make you a more consistent bass angler. And make sure you subscribed because that's exactly what we talk about here each week. Getting you more consistent and helping you see through the clutter. Stay stoked.